I'm Mayor Ruth Harris. Joining me now, Mayor Formosa here in Powell River. We're here in the council chambers, and he's going to bring us up to speed on all of the great stuff going on. Let's start with China.
China already. So I found myself there twice in the last 12 months. Both times for sort of business for our city, and first one was on the education front for the Chinese high school. Which would be exclusive to Chinese students.
Wow.
And with the dormitories and such, and that's starting to grow into other Chinese institutions of education. Okay. And they left this morning, a group, the owner of that corporation. And so then we also have another trip that I took was for a Chinese university, but it's not just for Chinese, it's for everybody.
Okay.
So local students could get their education here, Chinese affiliation for sure. So there'll be a university in China and a university here. They'll be associated. The partner is Vancouver Island University.
Oh, right.
And all those discussions are working away. And there's people in China, I think, from the university doing curriculum investigations. They have a PhD over there, working on getting the baselines all together. But there's agreement amongst the parties, the local principal here, the president and the vice president from main campus. So we all met with the owner, and we now have the conceptual plans. We haven't released them yet. And then again, subsequently, another university that is a Chinese university has come and looked at the land and are talking about putting a campus here for their university, and it will just be an offshoot.
That's fabulous.
So it seems like the two institutions that will be here and private and partnerships with local school district 47 is a huge player. They're the ones that really is. Jay Ewell,
yes.
Dr. Jay Ewell has been working very closely with myself and these people for the last probably 3 or 4 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we're off to Victoria next week with the Sino-Bright group to meet with Minister Bernier and Minister Watt from International Business, Small Business, and Minister Bernier from Minister of Education.
Right.
Just moving everything along, and lands have been purchased by the proponents. Other lands are purchased subject to different zoning and issues and agricultural land commission issues. So besides those two projects, we also have another Chinese group that are south of town and have put in a land-based aquaculture project, which I think they're pushing about 10 million spent out there already.
Wow.
And it's quite a large facility, and it's growing of shellfish and such on the land, and massive big buildings, and so we're working with them closely as well.
Fabulous.
So we've got sister city relationships, we've got sister city education relationships, and they go off into more than just the fisheries and the education, but the education is really the biggest piece for us.
Right. Now, looking ahead, there's a lot of talk recently about a fixed link to the mainland. So, undergoing study right now for the next 4 to 6 months, and there's 4 choices?
3.
3 choices, okay.
3, yeah. So,
which is your favorite?
My favorite,
can you say?
Well, I mean, a lot of people would like to see the road come right into Powell River, and that would be cool. I think that what would be more realistic and practical sort of in the shorter term would be a connection, a fixed link to the lower coast.
Okay.
But who knows? They're studying all 3 options.
Okay.
So one option is a bridge sort of in the Lions Bay area in a narrow spot where there's some little islands in between in Howe Sound, a bridge link. Another one is a road link, I think around the Horn there in Howe Sound into Gibson Seashell area.
Yep.
That if the wood fiber, I think, was to come to being, they're going to need some way of, moving a lot of stuff.
Right.
Although, they barge a lot of things. And then there's the third crossing with our, that's been proposed by our local group And that really is a connection from the interior through Duffy Lake Road, you know, into up into Powell River through just above Squamish.
Okay.
And that would give, you know, relief to not only the ferry at Langdale Horseshoe Bay, but also to Nanaimo, because they'd be able to come through to Powell River and go across here. So
Right.
it has quite a benefit to the ferry system. So they're working hard there. Gary Freebian's the president, and his team, you know, are working really hard on that. So the study's being done on all three options, and we look forward to see what, you know, what they're going to recommend or say. Maybe we just carry on with BC Ferries. So.
All right, well, we're going to take a short break. You can hang out for a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay right where you are. More coming up with Mayor Formosa. I'm Mayor Ruth Harris. You're back, we're back, and so is Mayor Formosa here in Powell River in Council Chambers, talking about, let's talk about economic development and the upcoming Cathalmu
Sure.
in July. What's the economic spin-off for that?
Well, for Powell River, Cathalmu has always been, you know, near and dear to our heart. The economic spin-off is you have a major production that invites, you know, 20 some odd, I think 26, 27 this year, choirs into the community from around the world. So your restaurants are busy, your hotels are busy, the town's buzzing with music. People meet each other from different parts of the world, fall in love, get married. I mean, it's been going on for years. We, you know, we have residents that live here that came here, you know, singing in choirs, and now they're married to locals. And sometimes, you know, the two choirs, you know, are off somewhere else. It's quite cool to see. You know, we've been, you know, well
So
over
you're a
20 some odd
matchmaker.
years. Well, it ain't me. It isn't me, you know. But it's just, that's the energy.
Right.
And
Awesome.
it happens every 2 years.
We are so excited.
Yeah,
It's gonna be great.
this year it's going to be even busier. They're having great success with their enrollment and quality of, we always get a good quality of choirs, but you know, this year they're really, we're really happy to see that after all these years we're still, you know, wanted and still folks, you know, wanting to be part of our World Cathalmu. You know,
Right.
after, when we started, and you'll hear from Paul, there was like 3 or 4 of these World Choir events adjudicated. Now there's like 300 of them.
Yes.
So it's a competitive market. So we're proud to still be, you know, batting
Well,
100.
But look at what you've got to offer. Seriously, I mean, it's just gorgeous here.
Yeah.
So you've got that over probably many of those.
There you go.
All right, other economic development. What have you got
Yeah,
going on?
well, you know, as we were talking about the universities and the high schools and the land-based aquaculture, we have also a couple of other large land-based aquaculture groups working with our economic development officer, Scott Randolph, just at the lands we have available and the synergies with the mill and with the ocean. And we've been pushing land-based aquaculture in Powell River now for about 3 or 4 years hard. And the fruits are, you know, when you think, oh, nothing happening, and then all of a sudden, you know, one's being built south of town, and one big group's in looking for, you know, information, and another group's in looking for information and such. So, so we're active, we're busy getting information and introducing people and such. We had a small firm move in that do interiors for, I think it's Moxie's, so they'll employ 15, 20 people.
Okay.
And they're moving in gradually from Surrey, so they've got a lease here now. And they, from what
interesting.
we understand, Scott's been working with them now for about 5 or 6 months.
I suspect you're going to see a lot more of that migration up from the Lower Mainland.
Yeah,
I do. I just get that sense because the Lower Mainland is just becoming
right. All kinds of things, expensive, dangerous, you know, frustrating driving, and you know, we were just told this morning by our economic development officer Scott that we've got a 0.8%, you know, vacancy rate for people looking for places to stay.
So who's going to build some new apartments?
There's plans that we're negotiating that are into.
Excellent.
Our planner Thomas looking at new apartments.
Okay.
There's a couple of those projects on the books. And such. So we also have some issues with our mill that it's one of our paper machines is converting to paper towel.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
exciting. Yeah.
That's very
so,
cool.
you know, we've been working with Fred there, and not that we have a lot to do with it, but you know, we were able to do some things to help out. And so, you know, that'll be a real boost because it's a new market, you know.
Right.
Newsprint is a dying breed, and but they have their challenges. Things were going well. The mill was finally getting to a place where it was, you know, making some good money and stable, and then they got hit with this prevailing tax out of the U.S. that's affecting Powell River probably to the tune of $1 million a month. One of our machines, I think our number 11 machine, because the U.S. is stating that the paper mills in Canada are subsidized by the government, and therefore they're getting subsidized, and the U.S. mills can't compete with us, and so they slapped our mill with, because we have one machine, they don't get subsidies. The BC government doesn't give them subsidies, but I do know, I think it's Nova Scotia and I think it's Quebec, where they actually do have subsidies from the provincial government, but not
terrible.
here. So yeah, it's a problem. So
well, JT's going to be down there on Thursday.
Well, there we go. Well, you know, but they're working hard here to change their product mix, and Fred Chin, our manager, is doing a wonderful job here, and his team of workers realized that, you know, we got to, you know, keep this mill viable. It's over 100 years old. It's been making paper for over 100 years. 2 years ago was the centenarian year. Yeah. And so that and other things. We're busy.
Okay, so the next time we come, and the next time we host from Powell River, about another 4 weeks or so, I'd really like to go out to that aquaculture.
Land-based aquaculture, right.
Yeah, the land-based. I think that's
Hummingbird
really
Cove
interesting.
it's called,
Hummingbird Cove, all right. So stay tuned for that. Right now, we're going to have a look at this little piece from our own John McKenzie.